Hello there, welcome to Such a Fine Frenzy, and today I'm doing my January wrap-up and February TBR video. In total this month I read 7 books. Yes, it's not a lot, but it's a good amount. I'll just show you which books I read this month. And the first book that I remember reading, I think I read this one first, is Let It Snow by John Green, Lauren Myracle, and Maureen Johnson. This book is a combination of 3 different love stories. And they're all a little bit interconnected. All the characters kind of meet up, and it's just 3 sweet little stories. The first story was definitely my favorite. The character reminded me of me, and the guy was super sweet. It was about this girl who goes on whose parents get arrested for some convention, and she has to go on a train to go see her grandparents for Christmas Eve. So she's on a train. The train breaks down because there's too much snow. She hikes it over to IHOP, the Waffle House, and this guy says, hey, why don't you come home with me? It sounds sketchy, but it's not sketchy. And they end up falling in love, even though she had a boyfriend, but he was bad. The second story is about these 3 best friends who trying to get to the Waffle House because they're cheerleaders there. And so it's 2 boys and a girl, and the main boy and the girl are holding back feelings for each other. So when they go on this escapade, they kind of let their feelings out. It's very sweet. And the last one is about a boyfriend and girlfriend who had a little bit of trouble, and then she thinks he doesn't care and he thinks she doesn't care, and in the end they both care, and there's a pig, and it's really cute. If you're looking for a cute winter read just to cuddle up with, I read the first story, which is about 120 pages, in one night. In one sitting, I read that whole story. I loved it so much. Super sweet. Curl up with a cup of tea and a blanket. The next book that I finished in January was Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the sequel to Throne of Glass, and it was freaking awesome. I think I was in a little bit of a reading slump when I read it, so I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have, but I loved Kale and I loved the storyline. I don't really remember what happened. I can't really give a synopsis because it's a middle book, so it's just kind of moving the plot forward. But if you like female assassins who like to read, and protective captain of the guards, and sassy crown princes, just read it. Just read it, please, because it's so good. The next book that I read was Control by Lydia Kang. I did a review on this one. Super amazing book. I think I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, though. Some flaws in it when I really looked deep down into it, but on the surface, just the story captured my heart. A little creepy, a little, it's really good. If you like sciencey aspects and a main character who's not so sure of herself, give this a try. It's about a girl and her sister who lose their father, and they have to get put in these foster homes, but they get split up. So they get into rival foster homes, both that house mutants, and you're following Zelia, the older sister, and she's just trying to get her younger sister back, and she gets into all this kind of trouble, and you just kind of want to slap her most of the time. But if you like sciencey, dark dystopian, with cute love story, I would give it a go. The next book that I read was The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clarke. Just like the Control, I read it in just couple days. It's about this girl who's a pirate whose parents were gonna give her arranged marriage, but she decided to run away. That's where you start. And then the parents of the guy that she was supposed to marry send an assassin after her, and you're not supposed to live when you meet these assassins. But she ends up saving his life, and now he's tied to her with a curse. Definitely one of my favorite books of all time. If you like something a little bit different than a normal romance, it's slow burning romance between a pirate and an assassin. How can you go wrong? But it's just slow, and they gradually get to know each other, and the scenes are amazing, and I'm so excited for The Pirate's Wish. It's coming any day now. So excited. The next book that I read was White Cat by Holly Black. If you saw my Goodreads or my Twitter, I had to give this one 1 out of 5 stars. There was not an aspect of this book that I liked, unfortunately. Sorry to Holly Black, I don't discredit you as an author. This book was just not for me. It was about this boy who thought he killed his best friend, but actually turned her into a cat, and it was just weird and confusing, and I had to force my way through it. And I think in the middle I read the next book, which is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, but I didn't enjoy it. But if you look at Catty-tastic's review, she loved it. I trust her with reviews for my books. Unfortunately, I did not like this. There's nothing I liked about this book at all. But I have The Coldest Girl in Cold Town, which I'll be reading eventually, by Holly Black, so hopefully that'll be a good one. The second last book I read in January was Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. It's about this girl who is a very quiet girl who loves the holidays, and about this boy who doesn't love the holidays and he loves books, and she leaves a red notebook in a bookstore, and it gives a list of dares that he has to follow if he wants to kind of meet this girl. And you're taken on a roller coaster ride of, there's brothers and there's hardships and then there's a dog, and it's super cute once they finally meet. And I just wished it lasted a little bit longer so you could know how this happened, how it ended, or how it kept going. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think I'm going to take it down to a 4 out of 5. Not that I didn't like it. I really loved it, but it just, if I think about it more, it wasn't amazing, but I really enjoyed it while I was reading. A really quick, cute read for just a night whenever you're not busy. And the last book, and probably my favorite book out of all these, The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I was so freaking hesitant to start this book, and I started it probably 3 times and I couldn't get into it, and when I finally forced myself to read it, I loved it, loved it, loved it. Holy crap. Holy cow. This book was absolutely amazing. 5 out of 5 stars, definitely for me. It's not like any other book you've ever read. First of all, it is in our main character, Todd Hewitt's dialect. So it's spelled, things are spelled wrong. Your is Y-E-R, your, and you just have to get yourself in his brain. But the way those character developments made the story so amazing. You start with this scared little Todd who hates his dog, and you end up with this brave, amazing man who fights for what he believes in. You follow, it's upside down. You follow Todd Hewitt on his adventure. He finds this girl in the woods, and he's never seen a girl before. So he's confused, and she doesn't talk, and it's all stressful at the beginning, but eventually they warm up to each other, and now he's furiously protective of her, and there's a dog, and it's an emotional roller coaster. 5 out of 5 stars. Just pick it up and just force yourself to read at least the first chapter, maybe first whole book. Just read the whole book. But the first couple chapters, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I just want to know what happens, but it's not in my next to read TBR. Just do it. It's so amazing. I love this book. Alright, now we're going to get to my February TBR pile. So since I read 7 books in January, I'm planning to read 7 books again in February. And that's pretty easy because I already read one of them. Finished it yesterday. These Broken Stars by Amie Kaufmann and Meaghan Spooner. I really enjoyed the story. It was like it says on the front cover, it was achingly beautiful. I believe like the emotions were great. It's about this girl and this boy told from 2 different points of views, and the ship they are on crashes into this unknown planet. Everybody dies except for them, and they have to survive and try to get rescued. But over that time, obviously, very predictably, they fall in love. Easy to predict. But there's this mystery on this planet that you don't know what's going on. They're having visions, and they're hearing whispers, and it's confusing. And then, I'm not going to tell you what happens because it was such a surprise to me, and it hurt like crap when it happened. And if you like protective men and strong woman leader and cute romance, but mystery and heartbreak, and it's really good. It's the Booksplosion Book of the Month book. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's not one of my favorite books ever, like it is The Knife of Never Letting Go, but it did have me thinking, and it was a very good spacey book. Very good. So the book that I'm reading now, oh, it's so big, is The Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. It is humongous, so I'm a little worried about reading 7 books when this is one of them. But it shouldn't be too hard to get through this one because Throne of Glass series is amazing. I'm going to get through this one. It's going to be great. And then my next up on deck I have is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I always like to have a book ready to go next when I'm reading a certain book, so I can kind of get in the mindset that that's the book that I'm going to read next, and I should get kind of mentally prepared for that. I've been really enjoying myself when I do that, so that's good. And once I start this one, I will pick my next book to read, but I think I'm going to try to get through these 4 books, and that includes Anna and the French Kiss. I haven't read a contemporary. I read at least 4 books, and I haven't read a contemporary in a while, so I'm feeling this one's going to be a good one, and I'm excited to get to this one, which I think I'm going to do after Darkest Minds. We'll see how I feel, and I'm definitely going to get to The Ask and the Answer by Patrick Ness, because I want to know what freaking happens. This is the sequel to The Knife of Never Letting Go, as you can see, because they match ish. Look at, oh wait, look at them, and they look so good with the next one. And if I have time, I'm gonna get to the Monsters and Men. That's kind of my backup book for this month, but that's huge. Like, this is not huge. The next one's even bigger. This one has 530 pages. That one has like 700 pages. So if I get through this one and I get through Heir of Fire, I'm gonna be proud of myself. And then I have Angelfall by Susan E. This is gonna be a quick, cute read, just like these Broken Stars. I'm hoping I'm gonna like this one, and I think it's gonna be a good read. And my last one that I'm hoping to get through this month is The D.U.F.F. by Kody Keplinger. So this one looks like another cute contemporary with a little twist, a little more deep, like a kind of an Eleanor and Park kind of deep feeling behind the cute romance and the cute story. So I'm hoping this one's gonna be a good read. So I have 6 books left to read in February, and it's only February 4th, so I think I can do it. But 2 of them are over 400 pages. I'm excited. This is going to be a good month for reading. I'm going to finally read Anna and the French Kiss, and I'm sure I'm going to love it because John Green loved it. So I'll let you know when I'm finishing off these books, and I'll post reviews for them. I hope you have a lovely day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.